And the Trudeau regime has finally joined the rest of the world and dropped the majority of the vaccine mandates in Canada. They were dragged into it kicking and screaming, but at least it was done. Canada's still screwing its own domestic tourism industry through imposing a ridiculous quarantine requirement among unvaccinated arrivals, but at least unvaccinated Canadians can get on planes and travel outward again, and on trains. Now, millions of Canadians chose not to be vaccinated. I don't want to go into why they may or may not have. Those folks, though, have not been able to travel by air for almost 2 years now. Many haven't seen family or friends outside of the country, and they're surely eager to get out there and be able to visit them again. I mean, assuming those family and friends live in nations that allow the unvaccinated to enter. I mean, many people simply want to be able to travel again, and I expect there's going to be a rush with people eager to get out and see the world. Not every nation, though, has dropped their mandates yet for vaccination. While I entered the United States twice by ground this year, and I was never asked about my vaccine status at the border, they still technically demand visitors be vaccinated. And if you're flying, I believe they check for proof of vaccination when you cross. Our closest neighbor still hasn't seen the light. Australia is another country hung up on vaccine mandates, which isn't terribly surprising. I mean, that country virtually imprisoned their citizens throughout the course of the pandemic. People, though, should vote with their wallets. You can travel. And as vacations plans are being made, make sure you only go to nations wise enough to have dumped their ridiculous, outdated vaccine mandates. I'm going to list a number of prime destinations that have dropped their mandates. The UK dropped all vaccination and testing mandates. It's a perfect time to cross the pond, enjoy some sights, and consume some bland food. They've got it all there. Italy, they're wide open. Better food. The sights, I don't know. That's questionable. All the same, you can get out there and check out the Pope's house without fear of border harassment. And the canals in Venice are apparently somewhat less odoriferous than they had been pre-pandemic, so you can view the city while spending less on perfume right now. France dropped their vaccine requirements, but they do still require testing. So you're still going to have to endure having a swab tickling your brain through your nostril if you want to go there. It may be a price worth paying if one wants to see the Mona Lisa while it's still viewable by the public, though. I'm not sure how many more times they're going to allow nutty cross-dressing protesters to deface it before they shut off access to everybody. Japan still requires testing as well, but you don't need to be vaccinated. And maybe having some good wasabi on that first meal of sashimi over there would help clear your sinuses after the olfactory violation of a PCR test. India, they're open to unvaccinated visitors now. Canada has a huge population with Indian roots, so I got a feeling a lot of people are going to be packing their flights to get out there and visit family and friends. You still need to be tested to enter India, unfortunately. If you're looking for some beach time, though, on this side of the hemisphere, Cuba, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, and Mexico are all wide open. No vaccination or testing required. I'm not sure if Mexico ever even required it. I entered Mexico by ground last January, and all I had to do was walk through a rotating gate. I mean, vaccine mandates have proven themselves to be pointless in stopping the spread of COVID-19, though many nations initially build them as if they would. The reason nations are maintaining mandates now is purely political, and it's for spite. Trudeau is still keeping his thumb on the Canadian truckers with quarantine requirements, for example. Unvaccinated truckers crossing the border are no more likely to spread COVID-19 than vaccinated ones are. This isn't theory. This is the science that we're supposed to follow. The mandate remaining on truckers is nothing but a federal campaign of harassment maintained by a petty, insecure little man of a prime minister who wants to inflict vengeance upon the group of unwashed who dared to embarrass him last February. It has nothing to do with public health. Biden, he's made mandates a hill to die on as well. And as much as I love our southern cousins, I do suggest people consider other destinations for their travel until the USA drops their mandates, whether you're vaccinated or not. Vote with your wallets and put pressure on those foolish nations maintaining mandates. I feel for the people suffering within their tourist industries in those nations, but nothing else is going to convince some of these political leaders to shed the damaging and divisive vaccine mandates they've imposed. A lot of the world has opened up. Take advantage of it. Get out there and travel while you can. Rest assured, there's authoritarians and they're eager to shut things down again if given the chance. So you might as well do it while you can. As countries see the economic price of keeping mandates and as they keep rising, maybe they'll feel less inclined to maintain or expand those mandates in the future.